the continuation of the Star Battle X Fall 2017 tournament. And this match is Match 3, Game 1 between Helveticano and Kraken. In the bottom right, we have Helveticano on the red team, opening Colossus, Reeking opening Siphon, Silverwolf opening 4-3 Colossus, Helveticano opening Shield Regeneration, 2 shields, Sever opening Charges, Obi-Wan opening Charges, and Nox opening Plague. From the blue team, we have Forestry Dude opening Charges, Moo opening Imp on Raven, Kraken going 3 Armor Hull on Dread, Saranya going 4-3 Colossus, Spianor Seb going Plague, and OG Kush going the Void Ray. So this is a very interesting matchup from two teams that so far are each undefeated in this tournament. Clearly they can't all be undefeated after this game, so this will be a very decisive game for letting us know who will be very likely to be in the final match and get the $50 per player prize pool, or so it is said. Kraken ends up taking a fair amount of damage, even with hull and armor, from charges and from missiles. They're going to get pushed back in mid here. Does leave Kush and Seb a little bit exposed out here. They're not too far gone, they should be okay. But they're gonna lose some positioning here. Ooh, good plague off though. That's a beautiful plague. They're gonna make it hard for the red team to stay here for too long. That's really what Helveticano likes to do, it seems. He likes to stay for very long first pushes. But it doesn't seem like he'll necessarily be able to do that against Kush's team today. But we'll have to see. A little bit of a stall by Silverwolf there. And they are trying to hunt down Kush, make sure that he can't casually backfarm or set up a war trick. Kush actually warps in on Moo instead of going back and spinning. Well, he didn't. Yeah, he had 300 minerals, but I guess he decided to just stay in the lane and continue threatening Nox here. And Kraken's team is pushing in, managing to get back up here, getting another beautiful plague off on Silverwolf and Helveticano. These Colossi are not going to necessarily be able to stay here that well. And so this is a 4-tank composition versus a 3-tank composition. It is interesting, and I think the Void Ray here is an interesting choice from Kraken. Like, it could be that Kraken was expecting Helveticano to go a very, very tanky build. And so I do wonder whether Kush on Void Ray was actually a way to think about punishing them for that, right? Because they only have Siphon on Reeking, and they have no lockdown. They don't really have... They only have the 2 spotters. Spotters can be pretty good. But, they have a pretty long cooldown. So, I don't know, this could actually, if it goes to late game, I think this will definitely favor Kraken's composition here. They did not quite even out the farm with this pushback. So for the moment, red team is going to stay up on farm, which is generally what you expect in the first 10 minutes with a 4-tank composition. But if they can't push beyond a 100 farm lead, if they stay at about 100 farm, they won't be so much stronger than the blue team that they will be able to prevent the game from going late. And if the game does go late, this could very easily go into Kraken's favor. So we'll have to see how Helveticano wants to push how he wants to make sure the game doesn't go late. Because I don't think they have the stronger comp if that happens. And blue team right now doesn't need to make any really big plays. They just need to come out together. And they will be coming out together. I guess we can see. Yep. Kush already picked up Cloak, so he can clear up Sky Fury. Forestry coming out with bots. Mu coming out with Blackout. Saranya coming out with Hardened Shield. Kraken at 5 armor, 2 gats. Seb at 375 energy. Versus Severf with bots. Avada Kana with Lance. Meeking still with just 400 energy and Siphon. Silverwolf with 5 shields, 3 missiles. Obi-Wan with bots. No hull here yet. Guess I should have double checked that everyone else's hull. Usually that's kind of assumed. Yeah, everyone else's hull except Obi-Wan. And then Nox with 375 energy. 2 Muse and Plague. I'm still on desktop view. Yes, I am. Alright. Well, thank you for the follow there. Alright, so another even push, but now Red Team has tried to secure a bigger farm lead, and they are now threatening Kush over here, who was presumably trying to set up a warp trick, and that is exactly what is going to happen right now. They're going to get the warp in on Wheat King. And if they can get a pick right here and get an extraction, that's 2 big ifs right now. Yeah, they had to get off Wheat King. Now they're trying to threaten Avada Kana. But this is a very dangerous situation now. This could be game deciding one way or the other here. Are they missing a yeah. Okay, he has not warped in yet. Now Kraken is in. And this is just a... Whoa! The blackout hits practically everyone here. Look at this massive blackout. Forestry 2 is still at 4,500. Saranya at 10,000 still. Obi-Wan at 5,000 though. And Kraken is on Obi-Wan. They're turning on Obi-Wan. He's down to 3,500. 3,000. Plague lands. 2,000 on Obi-Wan. 1,500 on Obi-Wan. He drops a charge down to 800. Saranja turns back. Obi-Wan is clear. Now is Saranya. Saranya at 3,000. And they managed to get out of this clear. Wow. That was a very hot engagement on both sides. That definitely could have been game deciding right there. But both teams managed to keep it together and managed to keep every ship alive despite the amount of pressure from both teams in that situation. Literally just an incredible blackout from Mu. Missed Plague there. I think, yeah. And so blue team will have to heal a bit, and that is the tempo lost here for blue is kind of unfortunate because now they are down 500 farm, and although red team will need to go back and heal here, they really need to. They can't let this farm lead extend as far as it has been. They have the stronger late game, but they're going to have a hard time in the next 10 minutes if they can't get some amount of income here. So you have to imagine the Warpins will be on Wheat King, who's staying out here. I don't know. You have Severf coming up the side. Not cutting in quite yet. Of course, it's just Kush here. It's hard to warp trick in on a Void Ray, especially one with Blink. Not sure why he blinked while also cloaked. And here Sevirf is cutting in, and you have to imagine the target here is Moo. They definitely want this Raven, but Blackout is up. It's going to be hard to get a Raven too. But oh, now they see it. They see the cut in, and they're spread out enough. You can Blackout here. Yeah, he wants to drop the Blackout. He needs to get that Blackout. There he goes, and he gets 3 ships with the Blackout, but he did take a Plague. He took a Plague and he took a Siphon. It's not clear whether he's going to get back before the Plague actually kills him. Will the Raven get back? And there's still a hot engagement here, but Moo goes down to the Plague. If they can pick off Sevirf here, they can try to evenize this game. There's a lot of damage coming in on Sevirf. He tries to turn back in. He wants to get the damage in as much as he can. They're trying to cut off OG Kush. They're trying to threaten so that they can't dive on Sevirf. And they actually managed to keep Sevirf clear. So that was a pick off of the Raven from the warp cut-in. And that's going to be a pretty major pickup for the red team here. It's going to be a lot harder without the support for blue team to continue to hold here. Now, I mean, there is a chance that Kush is going to be able to still get some good kills, and ultimately all he has to do is kill one of the Overlords. And then it becomes much easier to pick off the second Overlord. If they can get either one, they actually can very much get back in the game. Only Weaking has Spotter right now. So if they actually killed Weaking, they would be in they would have a window of opportunity where Nox does not actually have the capacity to reveal cloaked units. But for that to happen, they have to have the damage, and right now, they have Lance, they have charges, and Nox is up to just the starting his Psyblast. But they're getting pushed in so much just across the board that it's going to be hard for them to manage to get a pick on any ship at this point. I'm still kind of getting started for the day, so I'm just going to go ahead and to pull up that. Forgot to activate it beforehand. What is going on? Okay, I guess that is going to bug out right now. Okay, I'll have to mess with it later then. Or what I should do is really change back to window capture, but not right now because I need to see what Kush is doing here. Silverwolf is actually on fire. I mean, if he wanted to cut in and try to get like a pick on Silverwolf, that would be really exciting. But I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he was coming in to just try to get some farm. So Havadagon's team is in exactly the position they want to be in this situation. Double Dread, double Colossus, double Overlord is definitely a very aggressive, very a composition that can just be very hard to deal with. As you try to punish the other team to do sheer weight before they can develop all their special abilities. But Helvetica is going to be cutting in here and setting another warp in. He gets spotted, he gets siphoned, but with the other ships warping in, if they have the speed, they still might be able to get on Seb here. Kraken actually warps out. This is interesting, considering Seb is still really the target here. Even with a siphon on the Colossus, it is still kind of dangerous. But it looks like the rest of the team is just flying out normally, so it looks like there's not going to be a dedicated warp in after all. screen is going to go black for just a second as I've changed the display type. And it should be coming back up in just a second here. There it goes. So Kush is down here, just warping out, but what can he get a pick on? Because there's only tanks on the lane right now. Nox is actually really starting to punish Kraken here. He did warp in on Obi-Wan again, but there's definitely not a kill here right now. Yeah, this is the problem with the Void Ray against the 4 tanks, is that once the Overlords are dead, you can really commit to any target you want. But if you can't commit, if you're not able to count on not being siphoned or revealed, it can be actually hard to get enough sustained damage on any of the tanks because they just absorb so much damage. Alright, now we're there. Now we're set up for the day. Okay. Sorry for the little bouncing around with the sound things. But I'm going to be streaming for several hours today, so I want to make sure I'm kind of set up. Alright, so... yeah, the farm lead has solidified at 1300. So this is really still, I mean... because the compositions are so different, I can't say it's over, but this is a very, very bad situation for Kraken's team. Yeah, the Overlord, the Void Ray warps out again, actually warps in over here on Silverwolf, and if he could get Weaking, right, this is the dream, is to actually manage to get a warp in, to bait them over, to chase him, then to warp on one of his team and pick off the Overlord. That's really what Kush wants to do here. Is just disrupt the positioning enough that he can get a pick on one of the Overlords. That's the dream. Nox, at this point, still does not have Spotter. So really, I mean, you have to think that Kush has noticed this. We'll see if he warps in over here. He wants to get down here and get on Nox. And so, yeah, the other Overlord is nowhere to be seen, but he got hit by the Siphon before he cloaked, so he was not able to commit to that snipe right there. And Severf with the continuous protective field basically just is not taking damage at all from Kush, and he's just pushing him back, and actually Kraken is in danger now. But that was actually one of the best situations for Kush right there. If he hadn't gotten hit by that Siphon, if he had cloaked a little bit earlier, or if he had the energy to cloak earlier, that really could have been a kill, maybe. And it is weakening in Nox with all the minerals here. But that is also becoming a problem because they are getting faster. And their HP has actually gone up a little bit as well. Nox now has his Spotter, and he picked up Psionic Shockwave. And at this point, you know, Kush really would need a lot of farm to be able to just get a dedicated snipe. Really just even burning through. Yeah, here he goes. He took the Plague. Wait, oh, but the spotter comes out, so he gets siphoned after the spotter comes out. And so here's the spotter. I mean, he knows that when the spotter dies, he would be able to act again, but he has now taken 2 siphons. He's actually taking Psyblasts. It's actually Kush who's in more danger right now. But with 4 tanks, it can also be hard to get the sustained damage and pick off one of the towers. So turning the 1500 farm advantage into the win can be a little bit tricky against 5 ships. Certainly we have Wolf with invulnerability, Wee King now has 2000 damage, and here's the double siege. And so this is the strategy. They want to just not allow really anything to break this double siege now. And this is how they want to pick off the towers and seal the game. And Kraken does not have siege, Forestry does not have siege, so if they lose both these towers, at that point we'll really need to start thinking about how they're going to hold if they siege up over here. Seb is actually taking a lot of damage right there. And actually Forestry Dude might actually go down here. He's at 1500, 700. Does he have E-shields? He gets to 100. Okay, it looks like they back off. He got within the range of the tower. But now, with all these ships speed up so much, I mean, Red Team is not actually taking a lot of damage here. They're going to be able to pick off this Warp Prism with the double siege again. And this is why the double Dreadnought can be so strong, is because even though they're tanks, they can be a very strong mechanic for dealing sustained ranged damage to these towers. And it can be hard to just break through here, right? I mean, Kraken would like to be able to go in and start working down the siege, but without the damage from the team there to help, the Forestry is coming out still on fire. Seb is over here taking a Plague below 2,000 life. He's going to need to go back. And the tower goes down. And at this point, Forestry Dude has no minerals. Kraken has no minerals, and neither one has siege. So when the siege pops up here, it's not really clear what they're going to be able to do about it. This is looking like it really could be a game pretty soon here. Yeah, here comes the siege. Forestry just trying to get some damage in on Severf on the siege. Here comes Kush. Seb goes down. I basically couldn't even see that. There's so much damage everywhere at the moment. Forestry Dude might E-shield pop on Forestry Dude. Severf does finally have to break his siege. And now Beam is on Silverwolf. Kraken is on Silverwolf. They might just commit here. The situation is dire enough. But no, they're gonna pull back. Kraken is not going to die like this. Not like this, he's thinking, but the Psyblast does pick him off. And with 3 ships down and a 3,000 farm difference, with neither of the Overlords dead, and with Wee King having spotters and Siphon, while you know in a pub match you can sometimes see Void Rays do crazy things, it's pretty tempting to say that this game is all but over. And they're gonna be coming out fully healed and having spent all their money. Severf coming out with 14 Gats and a siege. Silver coming out with 16 shields, vulnerability, lands 550 energy. Wee King coming out with 2,500 damage on his Psyblast. There's just so much damage everywhere, so much meatiness. He's at 1,600 life on an Overlord. It's Overlord with Leviathan-style health. Because he knows that the burst damage of OG Kush is the only way blue team would at all have a chance here, and so they just don't even give any chances anywhere. And so this is very likely to be the final push here. We got the Tempests out. Is Sever going to siege up again? Yeah, he's sieging up now. Mothership is at, it's taking a lot of damage. Obi-Wan is sieged as well this time. Kush blinks in with Cloak, trying to get the beam damage in on Wee King. Spotter comes up. I can't actually see that. There's the spotter right there. And now he's out of energy, taking damage from the Side Blast, and he knows it's over. OG Kush goes down, and that's going to be game here. There's the GG from Kraken, and so we're going to be going to Game 2 of Match Group 3 between Helveticano and Kraken. And so we'll have to see how Kraken's team responds to the extremely heavy tank compositions of Helveticano. Because they have to imagine he will be going at least 3 tanks again in this next game. I think Helveticano has actually gone 4 tanks in every match so far. But the first loss of Kraken's team in this tournament. We'll see if this is a 2-0 or whether it ends up being the first